Casey suddenly got an idea, kicked the lower stone, and killed the monster with a falling boulder. On her escape, she met teammate Clay. What a lucky break. Monster roars filled the air. The two fled in panic, only to dash blindly into a dead end as the monster closed in like an unwelcome guest. Facing an impossible situation, they executed a high difficulty move, hanging back to back like acrobats above the tunnel, truly a trick in the dead end. At this point, the monster was below holding still. They felt like statues. Just as they were about to give in, the monster finally left, but just as they sighed in relief, the sheriff's voice blared from the walkie-talkie, attracting the monster's attention to a wrong place, runtime moment. Faced with this guy, the two spent heroes mustered their last strength to climb like superheroes. Fortunately, they escaped safely. On the platform, Clay threw the walkie-talkie like a wild, headstrong horse and rushed into a B-shaped tunnel without turning back. The chasing monster was briefly distracted by the walkie-talkie, but bursting from the tunnel, they saw hang a corpse. The corpse was one of the 6 girls, with the monster's growl indicating it's chasing again, creating a mysteriously tense scene. The sole way was to block opponents with the corpse. Though struck by lightning inside, Casey jumped across with Clay's encouragement. But just as Casey charged across, 2 monsters showed up. One lunged at Clay while the other zeroed in on Casey, who was the hang. Seeing his crash in danger, Clay erupted with unparalleled strength, using a drill to defeat the monster instantly. Casey thought Clay's heroics would save her, but they ended up attracting the monster right to her. With the situation reversed, Casey shouted Clay's name, her feelings unclear, and her voice lured the monster. By the time she sensed something was off, it was too late to classic why me tragedy. Meanwhile, Sarah and her friend found a puddle of water. The water was flowing, meaning it could lead to somewhere else. They charged in, seeking a way. However, upon reaching the other side, they found a dead end and couldn't escape. She grabbed her phone to record a farewell message for her daughter. Remembering her daughter, who died in a car accident not long ago, Sarah was deeply moved and determined to get her. Meanwhile, the sheriff was in deep trouble. A monster suddenly appeared behind her for a surprise attack. In her dodge, the sheriff tripped and was about to become a gourmet meal for the monster, but at that critical moment, an ice pick pierced the monster's head. The flashlight revealed a familiar silhouette. It was Junio. Remembering her fight with the monster, she miraculously survived. The sheriff was astounded and promptly said she was there to save her, but Junio took no notice. She simply took the flashlight. After all, who could guarantee their own safety in a crisis like that? The 2 strongest fighters, each with a dead weight, began to look for their own escape routes. Sarah and her friend found another tiny side, but as they crawled, Sarah noticed something was amiss. At the end of the tunnel appeared a monster, a truly unsettling sight. Just then, a Jerry appeared in the middle, startling Sarah's friends, and the monster caught sight of them too. Sarah remembered there was a hole where Jerry had climbed up, so she hurriedly crawled forward, and her friend not far behind. Sarah got in, but collided with the monster. She lit a flare, forcing it back. Both of them fell into the monster's toilet, and the monster followed them closely behind. A smelly toilet battle commenced, and in the end, with their teamwork, they successfully defeated the monster, truly like fish in water. Meanwhile, Junio and the sheriff were blocked by a monster in their search for an exit. Talk about suffocating. Junio quickly used an ice pick to silence the sheriff, then moved on stealthily after the monster left. He met Sarah and her friend from the toilet. Seeing the woman who abandoned him, Junio flew into a rage. Junio raised ice pick, ready for battle. Sarah didn't back down, suspecting her. The 2 instantly grappled. Despite her leg injury, Junio dominated Sarah, just as she was about to end it. Her friend unexpectedly stopped her and falsely claimed that Sarah brought them to save her. What a stroke of genius. After hearing her friend's words, Junio calmed down and decided to look for an escape route. Only by taking risks could they survive. To get out alive, they had to risk going to where the monsters fed, as that held the key to their escape. A quest for Ray of Junio was trapped here without lighting, but Sarah ignored it, determined to find her own exit. The sheriff then pulled out handcuffs, forcibly tying her to herself, truly a frustration within frustration. Clearly, the sheriff didn't consider what to do if they encountered a monster. Under Junio's lead, they arrived at a cliff. Although there was a path, it could only bear 1 person's weight, so they had to cross one at a time. Eventually, Junio and her friend made it. The trapped sheriff and Sarah faced trouble. It's clear they must uncuff, yet he refuses. As Sarah moved forward, the passage collapsed. Thankfully, the sheriff didn't fall, but it was bad news for Sarah. Excruciating pain forced Sarah to call for help from Junio, who initially wanted to bail, but eventually lent a hand. Yet despite their best efforts, they couldn't pull her up, and the scenario was hopeless in every way. Worse still, the monster below emerged, making the survival battle truly explode on the spot. Seizing the moment, Junio ordered her friend to grab the ice pick and chop off the sheriff's arm, truly ruthless and decisive. However, the real challenge came next. The three soon arrived at Junio's monster cafeteria, where a beastly feast was underway. They planned to sneak around carefully, moving directly towards the exit. Every step had to be ninja-like. Any sound could mean a free meal for the monsters.